Hello tutors and fellow students, my name's Melissa Snape and today I'm going to be talking to you about teaching children to write. Writing is a skill that we all need as it's used on a daily basis. According to research compiled by Colorado, writing is important as it is practical, it's essential for education, it's needed for our future career paths, it's essential for communication and also can be an outlet for people to express their feelings. So what are the principles behind the acquisition of writing?
Tompkins, Campbell and Green list 8 principles that are essential for developing young writers. Principle 1 states that effective teachers understand that children learn in many ways, ranging from a behaviourism theory, which is teacher-centred, to a constructivist view, which is more student-centred and allows for student writing construction to come from their own background knowledge and from others. Research by Kremen and Myhill suggests that when children learn in groups, they are endeavouring to make meaning of what they know by collaboratively working with others. Principle 2, as suggested by Tompkins, states that students learn cueing systems such as the phonological, syntactic, semantic, pragmatic and paralinguistic systems through reading and then are able to transfer that knowledge onto their writing skills. According to Bowen and Kelly, reading and writing knowledge go hand in hand, and through an awareness of language conventions, both reading and writing skills will increase. Research by Ofsted, Hilt and Reitzma show that young readers learn about style and the alphabetic code through reading, and this can assist them with creating language meaning. The National Council of Teachers of English believe that writing and reading are interrelated and both skills can assist each other, so it is essential that these be taught in conjunction with one another. Tompkins believes that an inclusive classroom that fosters a community of learners is essential for developing writing skills as students make choices to engage and connect writing to meaningful ideas. Research by Rowe and Netzel shows that when children have a choice in what they write, they're more motivated and engaged in connecting writing to understanding their world. A balanced instructional approach is the 4th principle that Tompkins suggests as being imperative to young writers. A combination of all literary areas is needed to ensure students understand language conventions. Research by Loudon suggests that an effective teacher integrates all aspects of instruction to capitalise on writing skills. Scaffolding writing is needed so that students gain competence through varied levels of support. Tompkins considers moving from a high level of support such as modelling writing and shared writing techniques through to a low level of support such as independent writing to assist students in gaining confidence with their writing abilities. Research by the Department of Education and Training Victoria reveals that effective teachers utilise scaffolding to ensure that students are apt writers and understand language conventions as they learn. Principle 6, according to Tompkins, states that in order for students to be effective writers, they must be taught in the areas of language, literature, and literacy development. The combination of these 3 strands must also incorporate multimodal literature formats. Research by Ofsted indicates that when these strands overlap, it is essential to access digital literacies to ensure that children are exposed to all varieties of literacy when learning to communicate. In order for students to become effective writers, teachers must assist their writing in a way that enables students to see how what they have learnt ties into the assessment so that the assessment serves a purpose. Tompkins reveals that writing assessments through informal means such as anecdotal notes and rubrics can allow an evaluation of students' strengths and weaknesses so that an appropriate instructional strategy can be tabulated. Parr and Limbrick echo the idea of assessment being linked to instruction so that teachers can determine appropriate plans for future learning. The final principle for fostering the acquisition of writing skills is for teachers to develop a partnership with parents. Tompkins illustrates how using parents is crucial in assisting their children's writing skills, as they can encourage and model how to use writing. Research by the Queensland Curriculum and Assessment Authority reveals that fostering a stable relationship with parents and teachers ensures that young writers are able to bridge the gap between home and school literacy by seeing writing skills are needed both inside and outside of school. The writing process is a series of steps that assist writers in knowing where to start. Tompkins lists 5 stages that move intermittently and start at pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing and publishing. Current research on pre-writing as found by Katamahara schools indicates that pre-writing is a skill that students need to spend more time on. When students do not spend enough time on planning their ideas, they're lacking the time needed to produce better ideas to enhance their writing. Drafting, according to Bell, allows writers to clarify the purpose of writing whilst writing to create meaning as the writer continues to attempt to communicate their ideas coherently and in a way that the reader will understand, ensuring that language conventions are used. Revising is a skill that Tompkins explains as the process of reading, sharing and making changes to one's writing. In order for a writer to progress, they must go back over their work many times and evaluate what they have written. Hodson and Jones expressed that the revising process is crucial for ensuring that young writers understand that by deleting, changing, and rearranging sections of their writing allows for a more fluent and comprehensible piece of work. Editing, according to the NCTE, teaches students the conventions of written language. They move through their writing checking for grammar, spelling, and punctuation conventions to ensure that they are all correct. Research by Whitaker reveals that allowing students to publish their work allows them to have an authentic reason for revising and editing so that their work has a sense of meaning. Ofsted goes further in his analysis of publishing, saying that by allowing students to publish using information communications technology, they become more motivated to write. Research by Unger and Fleissman reveals that the writing process needs to be implemented across the curriculum, not just English, in order to enhance student writing capabilities. Pritchard and Honeycutt state that the writing process is vital as it allows students to split their writing into subsections, thus making writing more manageable and creates more effective writing skills. The assessment of student writing, according to Tompkins, can be subjective as opinions on writing can change variably from reader to reader. Research by Dunsmeyer reveals that assessment of writing is challenging as the reliability and validity of assessment measures vary so much. In order to remove such bias from the assessment of writing, it's essential that a specific criteria be set. The Northern Territory Department of Education describe how the use of rubrics when assessing writing can be a useful tool for further developing student writing abilities. The purpose of assessing student writing, according to Kalamaha Schools, is to enhance teaching and learning based upon formative or summative findings. Teachers must use writing assessment information to make adjustments to their teaching programs. The Australian Curriculum and Assessment Reporting Authority state that after assessment, teacher practices must be reviewed if students are not meeting the minimal criteria set. Teachers are then to create different programs that assist individual student learning needs. The NCTE believe that assessment and writing assist with determining developmental aspects of writing skills and must be used to devise lesson plans for future learning. If through assessing student writing, a student is deficient in the area of language use, for example, then a teacher would design a series of lessons targeting that specific language structure that needs to be addressed. The physical nature of writing also needs to be taken into consideration when determining an appropriate teaching strategy. Lynn believes that children need to start from the natural progression of scribbles and invented spelling before they moved on to an understanding of phonemic awareness. Tompkins expresses the importance of early language expression as the main basis for guiding students through language strategies. According to Tompkins, students move from emergent through to beginning and then fluent writers generally by the completion of Year 3. According to all this research, in order to creatively teach in my classroom, I have to have group workstations with writing centres so that my students can collaboratively work together on creating journals, books, and playing language code convention games. I must also provide what Tompkins refers to as a print-rich environment that immerses students in different writing and reading conventions. The walls will be filled with word walls, word families, and posters about spelling, grammar, punctuation, and cueing systems that prompt recall of what has been taught in class. Cueing systems also need to be taught through the use of song, rhyme and repetition and hands-on games such as word sorts, sound blending and syllable games. I also need to teach language codes through the mini lessons where all students can contribute and feel like they're a community of learners working together. Writing lessons will start with modelled examples where I write and students copy. This will then move through to shared writing where we create a text together as I write it, to interactive writing where both create the text together, writing together, through to guided writing where the writing process is taught and students move through each process with my assistance to finally independent writing.